of tea. The winds blew up her bow, dipped down below my billy boys blow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She had not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
Ho ho! How is everyone? Sorry guys, I know you hate that intro, but I got so many copyright strikes last week that I can't use that intro again. It was crazy. I don't know where Mike is. He said he would be here. I'm sorry, Mo. I'm sorry, dude. I know you hate it. I like it. Filed for demonetization. God, you guys are insane, man. Here he is. Not nice of you to show up, Mike.
Thanks, mate. Huh? I thought you'd have an intro.
I did, but I had to play the Wellerman one. I had so many copyright strikes from last week. I'm like, I can't play it again. I like 3 or 4.
Did you get a $50 super chat?
Yeah, I'm getting there, man. David Feed for 10 CHF. What's that?
Swiss francs.
For you mates, new stretch goal idea for Replicator 4. At 50k, we will introduce a protagonist in the story. Done. Done.
About damn time.
Mo says, and immediately kill off that comic relief character he introduced in issue 3. Might make that happen for you, Mo. We'll see. D, 50 Australian. Dude, thank you so much. In Rob We
Is he talking about
Swift Shock?
Swift Shock?
He fucking hates him so much.
He's zany.
Yeah, Mo's like, nah, we don't want none of that shit here. Noel Lockhart for 10. Cheers, big ears. Is that a thing Australians say?
Yes.
Yeah. Scrolling down.
Cheers, like big ears.
People popping in. Joe Rose here. Beautiful. You're a mod. Dark Side's here. Good to see you, dude. Nate Callis. I like that intro. Sea shanties are awesome. I like it too, but Mo hates it with so much passion. It's hard to ignore him. He hates it so much. John's here. You can see John around everywhere at the moment. It's good. Good to see you, John. I think that's it. I think that's the bottom. Where there are other people streaming at this time. Bancroft is what's. Oh, yeah, Bancroft.
I'm not even looking at how many people are here anyway. So
it's less than normal. Bancroft, where do you find super chats that aren't there anymore? Because I'm pretty sure Shanth sent me one, but I don't know where it's gone.
So you got to go to your YouTube studio.
Oh, okay.
Go into monetization. There's a supers. Tab. They'll be in there.
All right. Supers. Wow. Okay. See all. These are from an old one. Lord Ravner for 10. Congrats, Rob. You're a good man and a credit to CG. Best wishes for the next 1,000. Thanks, dude. That's so nice. Shanth for 5 says, this is the kingliness of friendship. We meet like sovereign princes of independent states abroad on neutral ground, freed from our context. Friendship is unnecessary, like philosophy, like art, like the universe itself. It has no survival value. Rather, it is one of those things which gives value to survival. You can make Shanth again for another 5. You can make anything by writing. C.S. Lewis, congratulations, my friend. Dude, that
was far too deep.
Wow.
For Thursday afternoon.
Shanth should have just said like, boobs, and that would have been
I know.
enough.
You're
Right?
totally wasted on you. Like, just,
Wow. Way too many words, man.
yeah.
Michael D for 5. I watched a documentary that said Australians' climate slash terrain is uniquely cursed. True.
Yes. Yes. So we
Is
have
it?
yeah, we've got the Great Dividing Range on the East Coast, which is it's like a mountain range, but I mean, compared to your guys' mountains around the rest of the world, it's pretty mediocre. But what it does do is it creates a rain shadow over the entire inland. So you don't get rain in there. And then also coming up from the west and the south, you get all that Antarctic cold wind. It just creates a gigantic rain shadow over the entire continent.
I think no one needed to know about that. Nate Callis for
You
5
got
says,
hang on, wait. You got a $5 super chat from Michael. He asked a question.
I mean, that's fair. I will give you that. I will give you that. Nate Callis for 5. Like I said earlier, anything Camel, Bancroft, or Rob related are the best content in CG. Dude, that's so.
I agree, Nate. I agree.
Oh, so nice.
Agree more.
Congrats, Rob. How chat. Congrats. That's Bajani there. He's a long time backer. He's a sick dude. So is this what it feels like, Bancroft? Am I in the club now?
Well, they don't usually come in so thick and fast with, I don't know how many people are watching, but you know, on the first night, definitely.
Yeah. So it's all downhill
but,
from here, is what you're saying.
No, I said to you, we actually, this is a topic, a conversation. Someone asked us.
We need for tonight.
What's that?
We need some topics for tonight.
You were roboting there. Yeah. No, it was, I don't want to say who it is, don't embarrass him, but someone asked us, you know, I had X amount of people in my chat, but no super chats. Like, what does it take? And I said, the super chats come with lore. And you know, like you build up you know, people who want to support you, who like your content, like Nate, like Nolan, like D, and then lore, channel lore. Like Sumo, for instance, will always super chat me, even if I say hello to him, to tell me that I've gate kept him, stuff like that. It takes time, and it takes effort. It takes a little bit of creativity, but you have it in you, Rob. You know how to lean into a meme.
Yeah, my face is a meme.
Exactly.
My haircut is a meme.
Exactly. There you go.
I'm already there. How is everyone in chat? How has the week been treating you? I've heard someone say that we need more positivity in CG, and I'm like,
who said that?
I can't remember. I think we're pretty positive overall, Bancroft. Am I wrong? I would say we're at least,
depends where you're looking.
We're at least as half as positive as we are negative. You know, we're not all negative or all positive. There's a balance there.
We do like to navel gaze. That is a thing that we do. You know what navel gazing is?
No, dude. Come on now.
It's just when you sort of sit around and ponder and theorize. We do that a lot here on this channel. We like the navel gazing channel, I guess. But sometimes it can be interpreted, or it actually can be negative. So yeah, look. No, I think we're mostly positive, especially, you know, in our corner.
I like to think we ask questions, right? And yeah, maybe I'm wrong all the time. But
asking questions can turn to negativity. Like that can happen. We've seen that happen.
You're the thinking man, CG. I like that. Here's some really exciting news, and it's not Young Ripper based. I know John will be super happy about that. This man has entered the 6-figure club, Bancroft.
Roker Force.
How crazy is that? Just another one to add to the list of 6-figure campaigners. Eric Weathers, Clint Stoker. What? This? Is that what you're laughing at? Pull Out Pigeon does a lot of navel gazing.
No, Rob. You messed it up. Pull it back up. pull-out pigeon does a lot of navel glazing.
Oh, yeah. I totally I messed that one bad.
Oh shit, that's good. Well done, though.
He has some real humdingers in there from time to time, Bancroft.
Yeah, that's good. That was a good one.
Yeah, so Kenneth Roquefort, 100K, absolutely insane. You guys are loving Mo's joke or me not being able to read it. One of the two, probably both. We've both backed this actually. 100K for
Yeah,
painted.
I actually owe you money
death.
for that.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
That's what everyone keeps saying. 100K for painted death. I mean, Von Klaus had how many silents did Von have? I think it was like 1,500 or something, 1,200. It was a lot, and he's not anywhere near 100,000. So I don't want to call anything.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be pumping the hell out of it, but I don't want to say numbers.
I reckon a good goal would to try and beat 50K in the funding period. I reckon that would be a pretty good achievement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it. You heard it here. Bancroft says he's going to make 50K in the funding window. If he doesn't, you guys all.
No, I said that would be nice. Yeah, that would be good.
What was with you today? You were very quiet. Are you having?
What are you talking about?
Or something? You were like it was tough getting some energy and enthusiasm out of you today on the game show, Bancroft. It wasn't your finest.
I didn't hear anyone complaining except you.
And then Camel, when I mentioned it, he's like, "Yeah, you know what? Rob is right." Wow, good comment there, Bancroft. Just further emphasizing my point. Mo Biggs, I'm going to be pumping the hell out of it. Look what I started by bringing up pull-out pigeon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, then you got to pump and release. Elroy Genquest says, link for Groken, please. If there's a mod in the chat, maybe Groken gets another backer.
I got you. Yeah, man. If Elroy... Is Elroy new? Or is it just one of those names?
I've not seen Elroy before.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Elroy, if you're new, man, get on this book because it's Kenneth Roquefort and it's his own thing and the art is insane. You would not be disappointed by backing this. I mean, look at this thing. It's fucking ridiculous. He's on my dream list of cover artists that don't want to do a cover for me.
He's denied you many times.
Many times. I can't keep asking him. I'm desperate. I was a major complainer tonight. I don't think John, do you watch that show regularly? It's the same every week. I'm always complaining. That's how it works. Mike says
it's your shtick.
Yeah. Now we have to worry about Bancroft's depression. Thanks.
I'm the last person anyone ever has to worry about becoming depressed.
What about today's effort? That was concerning. I didn't know what was happening.
How bad I was at Mario?
Oh, you're just really quiet. Not getting involved.
I don't even know what you're going on about, Rob.
Camel with things no one's ever said. I can't wait for Rob to come crawling to me for a cover just so I can turn him away. Not going to happen, mate. You don't have to worry about it. Mike, what topics you got for tonight? I know you've brought some with you.
Have I?
I hope so.
No, I've been busy working all day.
There's
lots to talk about.
Go for it. Bring up something.
The other day, you, me, and Jeremy did a little three-way video.
Menage a trois?
No, video ping pong thing. And it wasn't planned at all. Not at all. Who went first? Did you go first?
Yeah, I went early. See, I don't know what time it is for you guys in America, but 9 a.m. here, there's no one streaming. There's no one doing videos. What time is that there, Bancroft?
It's about 6 p.m.
About 6
No,
p.m. Yeah.
7 p.m. Well,
Is this
there's three time zones in the States. So.
this stream is so going to get clipped? Yeah, there's no one streaming or doing videos, so I'm like, I want to do it early. And then what? You went after me, and then Crackhead went after you. Is that how it worked?
Well, let's go back to the beginning. So, to capitalize on the influx of interest in Young Ripper and everything Young Ripper, I decided I would make a good old fashioned video, and so I did that. But I was like, I hate spending time doing these things. I don't like planning them. I don't like working on them. So I thought, I don't know why I never thought of this before. I thought, why didn't I just go into StreamYards like I normally do, but instead of going live, I just record it. And that's what I did. And I was like, wow, that took me like 10 minutes. That's awesome. And I thought I could do this. And then I saw you, and then you started doing them. And then just, haphazard, you did one, then I had one, and then Jeremy had one. And we were like, this is actually something we could do.
It's our secret
You know how,
plan now.
like the ball, well, it's not that secret. We're saying it now.
Mm.
The ballers do their rotating
Same
show.
with the Jack show.
Yeah. Instead of doing a rotating stream, why don't we do a like bouncing video premieres thing? We can do a train. We can run a train on CG. And you say I got nothing tonight.
Oh, that's
Rob,
amazing.
let's run a train on CG.
Run a train. Love it. Let's do it. Antoine's in the house.
It's a good idea. These videos have been going really well for my channel. They look like they're doing pretty well for you.
Yeah, they are. Let me bring it up actually. Let me grab my channel and have a look at yours, I guess, as well. While we're here. Antoine's in the house. Good to see you, dude. I hope you're doing well. Yeah,
Why do
I'm
you
getting.
always say that like you think they're like there's some sort of medical condition. I hope you're doing well, Antoine.
What?
I hope you're surviving.
I hope he's okay. You know.
All right. I'm sure. Do you have any reason to think he wouldn't be?
No,
Okay.
not really. Okay. I mean, these are doing good for me. So like when we stream, we get anywhere between like 307 or 800 views. I mean, sometimes we go over 1,000 depending on the stream, but these videos like 500 views, 650. That's pretty good for me, man. That's pretty good.
Yeah. That's the Ripper effect. I've done about 7 or 8 now, and the Ripper one got up to 1.3. I think another one got over 1,000. But some of the other ones I've been doing like every other day. I've been doing just pick 3 things that are happening in Comicsgate today. So today I did that silly Kevin Smith joke that people thought I was being serious about. It's clickbait. And Shane Davis closing down Inglorious Rex, and then your situation with the being shadow banned. But that Ethan one, like that 900, that's just like, hey, Ethan launched second chance campaign, just sort of regular stuff like that. No one else is really doing that in video form, I don't think.
It's the way to grow your channel, though, isn't it? I mean, that's like, if you're going to choose one thing, videos or streams, if you just wanted to grow, you'd go with the videos, surely.
YouTube sent me a little thing that's saying, you're learning, you're experimenting with new things, and your channel views are up 119% this week. So keep it up. Whatever you're doing, your audience likes it. And yeah, like I said it on Camel's show, I haven't dipped under 1,000 views a day for 10 days or something. And getting like 10 new subs every day or every other day. It's pretty good. And yeah, the whole thing about it is it's like 10, 15 minutes max, maybe 5 minutes for a thumbnail, depending on how difficult it is.
You're not finding it hard to do like 15-minute videos on a topic every day?
No, I'm
Like,
finding it hard to keep it under. Like I'm finding it hard to keep it down to 10.
but like you're finding a topic easily enough to do. Well, that's what
Yeah.
I find hard. Like you run out of ideas.
Nah. No, I can waffle on now about pretty much anything. And then plus as well, every other day I'm just doing a what's happening in Comicsgate. Like just pick 3 things. It can be something's closing, something's launching, someone added something to a campaign. Doesn't matter. Like there'll always be something. There'll always be someone to promote. So it's not an issue. But then something will just drop, and okay, we'll talk about that today. I've been doing that for streams now for 2 years, Rob, and almost never ran out of a topic. Almost never. Occasionally it's happened, but it's not a big deal.
Nate Carlos, maybe you can answer this, Bancroft. When can we, Replicator, when can we join the channel and start gifting subs? Is there something I have to do there, like to get members?
Yes, you have to turn on memberships.
Okay. Well, there we go. I'll get that done. Lord Ravenant, when are you going to have memberships so you can have the pressure to produce quality content? It's not going to make any difference, Lord Ravenant, about the quality of my content. Someone brought up Fractured Echo. This is Rod's book, yeah?
Rod and Aaron Bennett.
Have you spoken to him about this? How are they happy? Are they happy with how it's going? It's going to be rough.
I can't imagine they'd be over the moon. No. Yeah, it's like this is another one of those situations where it's like it's got a real big goal, and I know like Rod isn't cheap. It looks like it must be a longish book.
33 pages.
Oh, it's only 33 pages. Yeah, that's actually tracks. Like that's how much Rod costs. So I understand. But it's one of those catch-22 things, You got to get on streams and stuff. Or okay, let's put the stream thing away. You just got to promote it. But at the same time, it's like, how do you get people wanting to get it out there and pump it up and promote it when people don't know about it? It definitely looks great. I mean, it's Rod Looper. I've got him coming on the channel. I was going to bring them on weeks ago, but I got sick and I couldn't talk.
Yeah,
they're actually coming on next week.
That was horrendous. Remember that?
Yes, Rob, I do remember it.
17 US, Jim. 17 US, 25 Australian for 33 pages. It's like $2 more expensive than what I did, I think. So it's not that crazy. Thanks, Hexallen. Appreciate it, guys. Antoine says it's a big goal for those who don't regularly stream.
Well, it's a big goal for anyone who doesn't. Like, I don't know if this is a first campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's Aussie too, Mike.
Yeah. He's from Melbourne, I think. It's a big goal for someone who doesn't have massive...
and zero shipping. Is it still zero shipping? I'm logged out. Let me check this.
Yeah, see, something like that would be like the biggest thing I would be shouting about. That there's no shipping cost.
That's crazy. What's this tip bullshit?
I don't know what that is.
Is that new?
Yeah, someone was talking about that on Crackheads. If you go back, you scroll down. No,
That's
not down. Go up, actually.
That's it.
There used to be a thing where you could put a tip in. Doesn't look like you
What?
can get rid of it.
So, no, someone in chat has to know what this is. Like, surely you can't just automatically force people into paying $4 for a tip.
Yeah, but Anton says, I think that Indiegogo asking. Oh, there you go. It's down
Here you
there,
go.
right? So you have to kick no tip. So it goes on automatically.
That is bullshit. Like,
This site is doing. It's like they're going out of their way to make themselves less appealing these days.
Shanth and Jetty for 5, my man. I appreciate that. Here's a tip, he says. Thanks, brother. You guys are amazing. You really are. We've talked about this quite a few times, Bancroft. Indiegogo, I don't know what is going on there. People seem to be looking at different options in droves. Like, is this something that they need to be concerned about themselves? Or,
Indiegogo?
or is comics just such a small who gives a shit category for them that it doesn't matter?
I mean, I wouldn't think it's like insignificant, but I wouldn't imagine it's massive either. Oh, Liam's campaign's up. I didn't know
Liam's
that.
campaign. Right. Okay.
Kakashi. I wonder when he put that up.
I'd imagine
he's
today.
Off, he's off Twitter. I didn't hear about it. Oh, yeah, 60 days left.
Antoine says, I think that Indiegogo asking for tips in poor taste is in poor taste. Dude, I agree. Yeah. I've seen it for a few months now. It's like they're getting what percentage are they getting off? It's like, is it 5 or 6%?
5%.
Plus all the fees and the bank fees that they take.
Yeah. Plus, if you keep an in-demand store, it's $25 a month.
Plus, they're asking the backers to pay more money. That is really poor taste.
Dodgy.
There was a tweet about
but
this.
Just going back to Fractured Mind, it's it's gonna be. I mean, it's not looking fantastic. You don't have to actually go back to it. Just
do you want me to or no?
No. But I'll have the guys on, and it'll be. Look, I'm obviously happy to meet Aaron. I've never actually had Rod on the show. That'll be fun. But look, it's going to be a real uphill battle for those guys to get that thing funded, and it's one of those instances of what we always talk about. Like I said, if you're not getting 50 likes on your promotional tweets, that might be an indication that you're not, the audience isn't there to what word am I looking for here? I don't want to say support, but like the audience isn't large enough to hold up what you're trying to put out, essentially.
This is something I often wonder about. Like, is it worth just, I don't want to use this as an example, but is it worth, if the campaign's not going fantastically, is it worth just shutting it down and retrying it?
Yes.
Yeah. Rather than try and like work the energy and get people excited enough to scrape through to get it funded, just shut it down and reboot it.
No shame in shutting it down.
Yeah.
No shame at all. No shame in trying again. Also, I don't know Aaron. Know nothing about him really. Other than a little bit I saw of him on Neff's show. And obviously we all know Rod. Rod's awesome. The art in this book looks fantastic. It could be your first book. So this is like Aaron's. I mean, it looks like this is like his dream book to get out. Your first book wasn't the best possible book that you could make. It was the book that you could afford to make at the time.
Mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are in the same boat.
It was the
And you look
best
at
book
guys
I could
like,
make at that time.
yeah, within your budget. And you look at guys like Commie Mark, who put out joke books, like cheaply made joke books that he could produce just to sort of get the ball rolling a little bit.
Mm.
And and then you get a bit of an audience going. So now you got some backers and stuff. You've got something behind you to say, I got something behind you to say, oh look, I've fulfilled. I'm in the game. I'm there. And then you build that towards your take that momentum towards your the real campaign that you really want to get done, which is in Commie Mark's case, Krishna Kid.
Yeah.
And it's taken years. It's taken him 2 years to get to this point where he can actually make and fund Krishna Kid. So Antoine asks, doesn't that count as a failed campaign? Yeah, it would be a failed campaign. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, though. I think lots of people have had failed campaigns and come back, and it's been perfectly fine. I actually have a respect for people who fail with their campaigns, dust themselves off, come back and succeed the second or third time
So
round.
do I. Yeah, so do I. I don't know if it would show it, wouldn't it? It would show like if your campaign didn't fund. Do people really care about that though? Like, is that something that you guys in chat look at and go, oh, they've failed this one campaign? Is it a risky proposition? I don't know. I don't know.
Look, if anything, it says that they're not in it for a cash grab.
Yeah.
They're here to make a book. And even if they get knocked down on the first round, they're coming back to try it again. I don't see it as a negative, essentially.
Yeah, no, neither do I. Congrats on 1,000 subs from Clayton. Thanks, dude. Appreciate that. Rep 2 was a massive level up from Rep 1. Yeah, it was. It was a huge improvement. There's no denying that. David Fee says Micah Curtis did that, closed and opened again and got funded the second time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nate Cullis, I think Fractured Echo looks fantastic. What do we need to do in order to get it noticed? What do you think? That's a really interesting
There's
question.
nothing we can do at this point. Nothing we can do. It's on the creators to foment that buzz and excitement and build that audience who want the book before it goes live. So I mean, we can do as much as we can, but I mean, we can put this thing in front of people's eyes. But if it's the first time they ever heard of it, the most likely outcome is, oh, that looks really cool. But I've got all this other stuff that I've already mentally checked into. I'm already decided I'm going to back this, and this, and this. So I don't really have like an extra, whatever it costs, $25 for this campaign, because this campaign does look incredible. Yes. Just like 100 other campaigns out there,
Yeah. And I guess when you're on the fence between one project and another, and if that other person is promoting it and you're seeing them get around, you're more likely to spend your money there. David Feed says, I've never seen Aaron promoting. Rod is a legend promoting, but it should be Aaron. I think that's a fair point too, Bancroft. Like,
I've seen him around. I mean, I don't know his situation. He might work during I don't know, but seen him around a little. But yeah, I've seen Rod around more. That's true. But again, like, I don't know Aaron. All I know is his face, and he looks Australian, whatever that means.
But like, if you're the creator or writer of the book, and you've like, assuming that they're not like splitting it, like Rod is a paid employee to get this book done, like what you're doing with him, like you'd imagine that the creator writer would be the one promoting it.
I don't know if that's the situation. I just don't know.
Ever thought about doing a Rep 1 remake, Rob? Yeah, dude, I really have. But I think like it gets to the point where you've just got to get new
Just
stuff
got to go
done.
forward.
Yeah, you just got to move forward, because otherwise you're just going to be, trying to fix every single thing, and it will just you'll get nowhere.
Like
But it
if
is
you want to
tempting.
go, if you want to go like Adam Surdom, like the old 60s Spider-Man and Fantastic Four books were very basic. You
Mm.
know, they look nothing like what the new Spider-Man and, books look like. They look like real basic drawings. Now Rob's isn't anywhere near that. So I think it's, move forward, not backwards.
Yeah, I did. We did remaster. You should have seen it before. If you weren't happy, well, not I won't say you're not happy, but if you think it's a very basic version, you should have seen the pre-basic version. It was
Did you fund that yourself before Kickstarter, or did you fund it on Kickstarter? You go like old
on
school crowdfunding.
old school crowdfunding back in the day. Like
Yeah.
it seems so long ago. Like CG wasn't around. There wasn't this amazing resource of people and channels and promotion and all this kind of stuff that was, when I was trying to kickstart it. I was learning all my information off this subreddit called Reddit Comic Book Collabs. And I'm sure there were like forums in other places that were a lot better, but that was like the main one I was using. And like what people have now in CG is just it's amazing. I would, so incredible. I'll back Redshift Express again when it launches again. I don't know. Do you know that book? Are we meant to know that one?
I don't think I know that one.
All right. Shanth says, Michael, I've seen campaigns launched on your show where the creator launches the Indiegogo prematurely. What advice do you have to stop this from happening?
Prematurely for my show or prematurely for them? Slightly different, but I think the better question there is when is it the right time to launch? I mean, Rob, how many times have we tried to express this in so many
No.
different ways?
Mm.
There's so many indicators.
We've tried suggesting, we've tried yelling, we've tried physical violence.
Now I've said this. Here's something interesting that I've started is that you need 100 signups to launch on my show. Like that's the minimum.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I started that exactly.
You're so full of shit.
And we even have made a thing of it. So let me share this. So like this is what I love to see actually. Is people using this sort of thing to create momentum and create like lean into the game, make the game work for you.
I've seen what you're going
creator.
to show, and I think it's
Yeah.
fantastic. Like the person could have easily gone, and it's happened before, I'm sure, Mike. Mike won't let me on because I don't have enough signups. This is bullshit, blah, 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 blah. But this person has done something else.
So I was in a chat the other day, and there was a guy on the panel, and he was showing off his pages, and everyone was like, wow, these look really good. Why aren't you showing this on the sign up page? I said that in the chat. And I'm like, you got to put this on the sign up page. You've got this other stuff on there. It's like strange sketches and stuff like that. Put this on the campaign on the sign up page. You'll get many more. And then people started saying, he said, oh, I would love to launch on Bancroft. And I asked him how many signups you had. He said 26. So it's like, yeah, it's like the thing about my show is people have this idea because they've seen Reaper Destroyer and they've seen other things go on that they think it's me, that they think it's my show, that they think it's my audience, they think it's the chat. Like it doesn't work like that. The chat have already been primed through months and months and sometimes years of hype in the build up to these things. And I'm just the guy who has the stage.
Yeah,
and you got to meet
you're
me halfway.
You're a great promoter, right? And
I know how to put on a show.
Yeah, and you get the chat worked up. But I mean, if they haven't done the legwork prior, even you can't do anything about it. Like there's been a couple of times on your show where I've been watching and they haven't done the groundwork. and it's been like pulling teeth watching backers come in. Sometimes there was a show that you did, and I didn't think they were going to get a backer the whole time. That must be rough. Are you
Yeah.
showing? Are you sharing this or not?
I'm about to. Yeah. So we'll get to that part of it after we look at this.
All right, let me just grab this from Sumo Thori for $5. Super chats will wonders never cease. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it so much. It's amazing. Thank you.
So we're talking about Armin, and he said, I got 26 signups, and I like the look of his book. I like the guy. I've been on his show. He's putting in the legwork. He's getting out there. He's getting on shows. He's doing his own show, stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, I like the cut of this guy's jib. I like his book. I like what he's saying. He just doesn't really have, that big of a footprint yet. So I said, if you can get to 100 subs, I will launch you. So he just like turned it into this fun meme. The path is set. We need 60 more. So he's gotten 20 more since then. Sign-ups on Indiegogo pre-launch to launch my Monster Hunter epic book, Elixir 1. Who's going to join these ragtag misfits up the mountain? And he's made this like meme of me as Gandalf.
Oh my God, I didn't see that. That's great.
On him. And
That's
here he is with his friends. I think that's B-Rose over here.
Wow.
I'm not sure who this guy looks familiar. I don't know who this is. Maybe you guys can let me know. But anyway, like that's the sort of stuff I love. Yeah, take the initiative, and these are the pages that I was talking about. It's like this guy can definitely get 100 signups.
Yeah.
He just needs to meet the community. That's all. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing from here on out. 100 signups minimum. Because
great idea,
initially,
fantastic.
yeah, it was a good idea I had.
Fantastic idea.
Initially, I first of all, people came to me and said, "Hey, can I promote my book on your show?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And then that became a thing, and then eventually, just through trial and error, not only on my show, on other shows as well, Leroy's show, other different shows. Obviously, took a lot of, pointers here and there from bigger shows and stuff like that. We figured out, we started, hey, you got to launch on a stream. And the whole excitement and everything is really important, especially at this level where we're talking sub 5-figure campaigns. It really is important to get the chat engaged and do all that sort of stuff. So, we were learning that along the way, and everyone who's sort of been watching the show for a long time has seen that evolution take place. And along the way, there's been some hiccups, like you alluded to, where I one point I was just like, anyone I knew pretty much, you want to launch on the show? Sure, come on. And we were doing, I remember there was one couple of weeks, it was just launch. I had to like tap the brakes on it. It was crazy. But some of them were not ready. One launch without any images on the campaign.
Whose was that?
And that was Gun Demon, I think.
That's brutal, man. I would say this to people, and I know no one listens anyway. I would say try and get your campaign page done, finished, like a month before you actually launch the thing.
Show your campaign page off far and wide. I don't know why people hide it.
It's weird.
I'm going to start putting my campaign link out to everyone, just right there, probably in my Twitter bio. Here's what it's going to look like. Like we're working on it currently. It's a whip. Get it out there. Like I don't know why it's this big secret thing. Like it
is weird though, because like we all like. I won't say all of us, but a large portion of us like to try and win or steal the number one backer spot. So, you want to know what you're going to buy before the campaign page like goes live. So I don't understand why people don't share it either. Nate Cullis, $10. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it. Robin Bancroft, you bogans can only do so much. At the end of the day, they have to put in the work for themselves as well.
Yeah, I say meet me halfway, but it's not halfway. Like it's I mean, I had very, very, very little to do with the success of Reaper Destroyer. I think that was one of the most fun shows I've ever done.
Mm.
Obviously, you know, on the day I was sounded like someone selling cattle, but you know, that's the extent of it. You know, I had a couple of videos loaded because I knew how crazy it was going to be, and you know, I just pre-made them. But you know, this sort of stuff, it's not a massive amount. It was Joe who did, you know, 99% of the work beforehand to make that, to get it like a 20K on the night within, I don't know what it was. Yeah. So yeah, look, 100 signups minimum, more preferably. I stand by my 50 likes on Twitter. You should be able to, at some point, raise that amount of attention for, you know, some kind of promotional tweet that you've done. And you know, if you can't, or maybe maybe it's not on Twitter, maybe it's somewhere else. If you can't, yeah, like time to start thinking about how better to, you know, get people excited about what you're doing.
Mm.
Guys like
I was,
Snuggy Jr. got it on their bookmark campaign.
I was thinking the other day, right? Like, where would we be, like the smaller creators, you know, like the guys trying to break in without guys like you and Crackhead at the moment? I think it would be really hard going for a lot of them.
I don't know why more people don't do it.
More people who are other creators or
Anyone.
channels.
Anyone.
So are you
This is the
saying
thing, like,
why aren't more people
people,
promoting stuff? Is that what you're saying?
why aren't more people doing what I did? Like
Trying
what
to
I,
build a channel, doing daily shows, that kind of thing.
yeah. Because the rewards are there.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I started, there were, I just saw your comment there, Antoine. Yeah, when I started, it was already crowded, well crowded. And I had no one following me. And, you know, yeah, you start at the bottom and just day by day on the way up. And I had to overcome, like, talking to a camera. That was still, like, I'm only just now kind of getting over that. But yeah, like the rewards are really, I like the way Camel puts it. He says having your own channel is like being one of the only teenagers in the area who has their own car. You know, everyone else has to rely on their mum and dad. See, Finn's doing it. Finn's streaming every day, pretty much,
Oof. Every
promoting
day.
people. But yeah. Everyone else is sort of like having to rely on their brothers or parents or whatever whenever they want to go want to go somewhere. But if you got your own channel, you got your own car, you can just go whenever you want. You can go wherever you want. I thought that was a great analogy. It really feels like that. Because when I
Camel
was a
drive?
teen, I was one of those kids. You know, I always was relying on my friends to take me everywhere.
Mm.
And you just kind of, yeah, you're not your own person. But you know, I do understand why not everyone can do it. But I'm surprised that more people aren't trying. Because yeah, look, super chats and opportunities and freedom and all that sort of stuff. And that, you know, there's so many people who are gonna want to continue to come into this, fans and creators. Like, yeah, I don't know, but look, I'm happy. I don't know where we probably be in a tough spot if there weren't people out there promoting smaller creators. I don't promote everyone anymore though. I used to promote a lot more. I've become more picky over the years.
Here's a loaded question for you. Do you think other creators have stopped promoting newer creators because you're doing it?
No, I don't think so. I see guys like Finn. I see guys like Neff, B
Bigger
Rose.
channels though. Bigger channels than yours.
I like John and Cecil.
John, Cecil, Shane, Ethan, maybe.
I wouldn't want to like make that conclusion, make that assumption. I don't know why they're not doing their promo shows anymore. I don't know if those shows were particularly like good for their channels.
John's show in particular was always fantastic for me. Whenever I went on there and like, you know, with Comicscape Presents, I would always get backers. His fans,
I got a
think,
lot
are
of
very much
signups
like
from
you.
Cecil. I got a ton of signups from
Yeah,
Cecil. I remember back in the day, like over 100, I reckon.
it
And
really does come down to the person, though, doesn't it? Like the culture and community they've formed on their channel really does help.
yeah, I've got this. There you go. This is a video I have in the barrel. And I don't mind talking about it on a stream because I don't actually think like there's huge amounts of like I think there's value in doing a video about something that you've already streamed about because some people just don't watch live streams. But I said to Raiden because he did that video about doing criticisms of books, and I said, well, okay, here's some criticism. Your hour or 2 hour long just sort of quietly playing a video game is probably like stunting channel growth on your channel. Like I said to you.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, really? Why is that? And I was like, oh, this is an interesting topic. Like some people just don't know like how to grow a channel for the purpose of promoting their comics. So I think I'll make a video on that soon.
Mo says every small creator should go on Samedi's open mic Mondays to hone their pitch.
Yeah. People get over it as well too. Like, people just get sick of doing things.
Yeah.
I love the whole promotional network side of it because it's new content for me. Part of my philosophy is I want to grow a channel that is about crowdfunded comics and sort of, obviously like right in the heart of Comics Gate and where people come to see books that they might want to buy. That's the channel I want to grow. I think that's what I'm interested in. And also it's it'll best serve me when it comes time for me to put out my campaigns. So there's it's self-serving as well. But
are you going to do any negative mainstream videos? Like, is that something you're going to do, or are you going to avoid that?
No,
that's interesting.
Not at all. No, I want to do positive Comicsgate videos. I want to create that. When people watch those negative mainstream videos, which I do think are important to happen on the big channels, and they turn around, they say, "My God, you're right. This is terrible. All this sucks. What can we do about it?" Well, it's good if they have somewhere where they can go at that point into the indies and find people celebrating and like actually create a fandom in Comicsgate, like a real fandom, and people can come and join and be positive, and it's like what I imagine. People who love video games, they just want to talk about these video games or TV shows they like or whatever it is, like that. but for Comicsgate. So it's going to be small, and it's probably going to stay small forever, but it'll be highly concentrated and incredibly valuable to people who want to make and enjoy Comicsgate and crowdfunded books, independent books.
But don't you think that people are looking at the mainstream and going, "Oh, this sucks," and then they go and find someone talking about it, and like, yeah, I agree with this person, right? And then from there they go and find a comic that they may not have known about. Don't you think like that would be easier for you if you did like mainstream sucks, but I'm actually doing this? Come check it out.
I mean, I could do a little bit of that. I don't mind laughing at them. But there's mountains of negative focused content out there. I would rather, and plus I don't have time, I don't have the interest, I don't have the energy. Like, I don't actually care. It doesn't bother me that Star Trek Discovery is an awful show. I'm never going to watch it. I'm not going to actually watch this stuff. So I can't really talk about it intelligently if I'm not actually watching it. I didn't watch Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm not going to. I'm not going to watch any of this stuff that people are telling me is garbage. Because I know it is, because every time that I have, it has been garbage. I held off watching The Last Jedi for months. I eventually watched it, and it was like shocking how bad it was. So yeah, I'm not gonna just waste my time watching garbage so that I can talk about it. I think much better off if I just be the guy who's like, Inglorious Rex, fulfills whatever, all this sort of stuff, and then be kind of like, I don't know,
It's a
propping up
bold
CG.
choice. It's a bold choice though, man, because like obviously the other way where you shit on the mainstream and then talk about popular things is the way to grow the channel. Like I look at Clayton, right, with his How to Draw Comics. Like he gets good views on his videos. He did one on Safe Space and the other thing, whatever that was, got like 200,000 views. So I mean, like it's definitely like a massive magnifying glass. So to not do it is very ballsy, dude. I think it's impressive that you're going to do it that way.
Like I said, I'm going for concentrated audience, an audience who wants to back independent crowdfunded books, especially support Comicsgate. The 200,000 people who are watching something, or like, I mean, you get more than that, people who are like upset over Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like a lot of them are going to be algorithm captures. Just people who got recommended something, click on it. Okay. Counts as a view. Cool. Whatever. Leave. Some of them might sub, hang around. They have no interest in the Replicator, So it's like, what's my purpose here? Am I trying to build a YouTube channel so I can strut around and say I got 100,000 subs? Or I can just slowly, over time, build a really engaged audience of backers.
I like
who
it,
are
man.
passionate and engaged, and they're small, but they punch above their weight. And like, we get 150 people in a chat or 200 people in a chat for a launch, and $20,000 gets raised. That's what I want. And we've seen from when we started doing launches, if we got $1,000, we'd be like high-fiving each other. If I get $1,000 on a launch these days, I'm getting DMs like, "Oh, what went wrong?" So it's like we're growing. And yeah, do you remember the energy after Star Circuit launched and that show ended? And we were so buzzed. We went into a back room, and it was just like we were popping champagne. We couldn't believe it. Like, this little corner of Comicsgate, $3,500. It was unheard of. And now that seems like, oh yeah, like that's pretty good. If you make $3,500, thumbs up. But at the time, that was like earth shattering. So yeah, it's growing. Some of these videos I'm doing are getting like over 1,000 views.
Yeah.
Like that's a damn good start. I consider that like a lot of my streams I get like 500 views on them. Some of them they'll get caught and they'll shoot up, but you know, 1,000 views is good, I reckon, for me, for Comicsgate. So I'm just going to keep doing that.
Mo says State of the Gate would also be a nice name for a segment where they go all over all my jokes they gate kept from the show. There'd be so many of them, Mo.
Too many to count.
Dude, I think it's really respectable that you want to do it that way. I think it's a great idea. I can't. I can't. I get too angry at things. Like, I did a I did a video the other day, Mike, because I was on Facebook and I saw like a Marvel movie tier list and they had Black Panther at the top. And I'm like,
no, that's rubbish.
You guys are full of shit. You're just saying that. Black Panther was distinctly average. Hex Allen says, yes, outrage commentary is exhausting after a while.
That's actually a real good point. There's a shelf life on this stuff. And I don't think there's a shelf life on indie comics. It's always something news coming out. The new issue, the new hottest book, the new hottest artist, the new guy. Oh, this guy's all like, there's always something new. So it doesn't really ever get boring like in Comicsgate. Not for me anyway. It's like I've been here now for 4 years. Still as excited as day one, and it's like that. Whereas, yeah, if you're just watching day in day out people complain about things, sure, it can be entertaining, especially at the start, especially if the guy's really funny about it. But eventually, it does sort of wear on you, and you just sort of become less interested. So, that's a real thing, I think the way I'm thinking of doing it will create a much more stable audience. It may be smaller, but it's more stable and, like I said, potent.
I like it that you've got such a clear path in your mind of how you want to do it. Like, you're not just saying, like, I'm not asking you questions. You're just like, meh, I'm just because I want to do it. Like, you actually have a real thought process behind it. Eric Grant, 5 Australian. I don't know where it's gone, Eric, so I'm just going to read it from here. Congrats on 1,000 subs to the real brains behind CG Now. Justice for Rob, hashtag. Love it. Thank you. Lucent Comic.
Just want to remind you, when Rob pointed out, it was CG Mole. Just putting that out there.
An idea starts from somewhere, Mike. It has to grow.
I know. It starts in the air. It floats around, and then she can just pluck them out of the air.
These fucking air ideas are so plenty for you, Mike. That's why I love streams with Rob, Camel, and you, because it's fun and escape from the world. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, like comics should be, I think.
That's why I get pissed off when people talk politics. And you're like, oh, fucking everyone can talk about whatever they want. I'm like, yeah, they can, but fuck, it's politics, and I'm sick of it.
Funnily enough, that's what Mel. That's the voice Mel does when she's like trying to do the same thing to me. She's like, oh, wear my tracksuit pants. She does the same voice. Some people find it entertaining, Rob, but it's like
they
that. Like,
they do not.
They do. I do
not.
I enjoy it. It's like venting a little bit, yeah. But it's cool because that's happening there. You don't have to go there. It's fine. There's shows where they like focus on drama. There's shows where they focus on politics. There's shows where they focus on
no. You say you don't have to go there, but there's shows that haven't talked about politics before who are now talking about politics, and I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Name names.
No, I'm not naming names because you'll tell me I'm wrong. Camel says views don't always translate to an audience that's going to stick around and back books. Yeah, that's very true. So when Mike says he's doing the concentrated thing, I can see it working.
Yeah, if I wanted views, all I would do is put Twister thumbnails on my streams and get 5K views every time. I mean, no one watches anything because they're there thinking they're going to watch a Twister video. But yeah, that's pointless. That's like got nothing to do with what we should be doing. So I think we got to build, like we always say, right? The mainstream squandered 2 generations of American superhero or like related comic reading audience. Squandered, just gone, because they chased speculation and they chased other things, right?
Not to
So
mention
now,
they fucked up the biggest marketing push in the
exactly,
history of
okay,
comics ever
exactly. So
with the movie.
there's 2 generations of kids who never read comics. So we're not in a situation where we can just do what manga does and pump gazillions of dollars into pumping out all these stories, because the audience doesn't exist to read them, because they're already reading manga. They're already reading American manga. They're already reading Dogman, all this sort of stuff, right? So if we want people to read our books, we actually have to build an audience almost from scratch. And how are you going to do that? Well, you put out good content as best as you can, and then create like a cool community around it, an environment, and whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, and grow like that. We actually have to build our audiences. Like, that's a real thing. Like, people say, like, build your audience. It's like, yeah, actually build it. Like, convince people like Ripper did to come in and hand you $25 or whatever it is to read your comic. Like, that's what you have to do. So, and we all have to be part of that.
Dave says people talking negatively about towards CG only add to its existence or relevance. It should be ignored, in my opinion. We're having a party anyway. What do you think about that? It's a good one. While you think about it, let me just read these.
I think you can. I don't have to think about it. I think you can laugh at it. Definitely don't get upset about it. Like, I see people getting like, oh, they're calling us this and that. Like, don't care. It is completely just for fun. That sort of stuff. Like, never get bent out of shape about it. Don't catch any kind of feelings over it. The people who would do that or who would believe that come from a specific ideology, the woke social justice ideology. There's a whole baggage that comes along with that if you don't understand, you're not aware of all of it, then you're just sort of like, and you're getting angry at this puppet who's the end result of like something else that's way bigger that you can't really fight. And trying to fight against that wave is like getting a bucket and trying to get rid of a big tsunami. It's like that's the wrong way to do it. The better way is to do the better way is to go off and make your own battlements, like make your own raft and build something that will attract others to it and grow from there, which is what Comicsgate has been doing.
Shant says Bob Ross had a show that was positivity focused and is crushing it on YouTube from the grave. Lord Ravner, when guys like Rob or Shant or PTP talk about how much hope they have for the future, it lifts me up too. I'll be honest, Mike, right? If I didn't see how well manga is doing, I would be really concerned for like the future of comics in general. I think the fact that people are reading manga, investing in manga, obsessed with manga, gives me more hope to the fact that we can actually pull comics out from wherever it is right now. And it may be us that have to do it, because I don't know if the mainstream can anymore.
I don't know if I would have shared that concern. It's a bit
publicly
like music.
or just in general.
No, it's a bit like music. People are going to make music no matter what, whether you can make money off it or you can't. So like it's comics is something that can never go away. It just like what matters is like how ubiquitous it is, how like how much of a chance you have of making a living off it, all that sort of stuff. But now when I see that manga situation, I just see an industry that chased cheap money. When I like American in the American industry, the people who invented comic books as we know them, chased the quick and easy buck and lost almost their entire audience. So 2 years ago, half of comics sold were American superhero stuff. That's down to like a quarter now, and it's going to continue. So, but look, I think I always say this: we don't need much to have what we're doing thrive. We don't need to be as big as Marvel and DC, and we don't have a hope of being as big as manga yet. But we don't need much. You and I and everyone out there, and Comicsgate and all that sort of stuff.
But like manga gives me the hope that there is a reader base there. Like there is people that are interested in the art of comics to an extent. Obviously, it's manga; it's different, but they're interested in that visual form of storytelling.
Yeah, I don't think that ever changed. I think that's always existed. I don't think that ever changed. I think it's just manga did it so much better over the last 30 years. And the Americans dropped the ball so hard that it's, they're going to what's more appealing to them. I don't think that has actually changed. I think that's actually growing. I think like everyone always says kids don't read anymore. I don't know about you, but my kids read voraciously. And all of their friends as well. But they're just not reading the same stuff. So, no, I think people have always enjoyed it. It's just, and probably more people than ever before. But
it makes you think though, like everyone, the majority of people in here are like our age, right? Majority male, 30s,
yeah,
40s.
we're the result of that friggin' situation.
Like if we don't get the next generation reading comics, like we're going to be what 50 and 60. Like we've got to start it again. Otherwise, like it's in trouble. Do you think that? We got to get people...
Yeah, but they've been saying that for since back when I was a kid. So I'm not as worried about that, but yes, obviously the more young kids they can get reading and consuming some kind of comic, the better, because that's more likely that they will form a lifelong habit of enjoying the medium. But I've heard that said for a long time. I don't think that's necessarily super existential. I think we can tread water by appealing to people over, say, the age of 25. But if you really want to like go crazy like it was back in the old days, then yeah, you need to make stuff that appeals to kids as well.
Oh, Lord Ravener's got a good comment. I guess in a sec. Mobig says manga's success may give you hope for the future of comics, but it crushes my hope for the future of humanity.
Some of it does. Yeah, I remember when I was in Webtoons, I hang out with some people. They introduced me to some stuff, and I was just like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, I mean, like the whole like waifu shit is just ridiculous, dude. Like people getting like married in virtual reality to their anime girlfriend. Like, dude, that's one step too far. Lord Ravener says, we don't want our kids to haul our long boxes to the dump when we die. Damn. That's
dark.
Yeah, dark. Sean says, I want to make American art. I have some ideas for James Bama Dr. Savage inspired item. Simply Green says, okay, how ridiculous. Yeah, married. Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh. Let's have a look at that. Is there any other points on that, Mike? I mean,
Yeah, Simply Green says, we saw gaming go from niche to mainstream. I don't see why comics can't. Brings issues, sure, but now indie game devs are trashing triple A's.
they really are.
Are they?
Well, you
The
think of the
technology
amount of
must have caught up. I didn't know
the,
that.
am- the amount of quality games that have come out from small studios in like the last 5 years has been incredible. And all the triple A's, man, I don't want to say all of them, but the majority of triple A's are just not. They're not doing anything. Even with like the franchises have got, the games are going backwards, or they're just there's basically copying the game they made the previous year and bringing it over the next year with minor tweaks. Like the smaller studios like us, they actually seem to give a fuck.
Hang on. And Simply Green says, no, not tech. They're beating them on fun. Yeah, but surely the technology would have to exist where in indie creators on a relatively smaller budget can put out a game that at least quality wise is somewhat comparable. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to capture more normie audiences. You know what I mean? Like in comics, there's no difference between Cyberfrog and the best Marvel comic. In fact, you could say Cyberfrog is superior. It's going to have the chromium. You're not having to rush through the art and everything is taken. It's like that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? So as long as the indies can actually produce the games at a quality that doesn't look budget, then there, and then they can, obviously they can make the games all so much better and fun and all that sort of stuff, and then compete on that level. But I didn't realize that the games had sort of gotten to that point yet.
Yeah, like you got, like I said, you got smaller studios, right? And they're getting their games reviewed in a lot of cases. Like they're 90% games, like 9.5 out of 10. Like they're absolutely killing it. I can't really think
I don't
of
know.
any.
I don't really like pay too much attention to the whole gaming industry, being a recovering gameaholic.
It's unbelievable. We've got people popped in. EVS has finished streaming. Thank you all, everyone who's popped in. Great to see you. Yes, thank you, everyone also who says thanks. Congrats on 1,000 subs. Thank you, Mike. Dude, I hope Mel's here to listen to me say something nice about you. But like without you and the incredible chat, this wouldn't have happened. I would have just been doing my own thing, not doing YouTube and doing videos. So, dude, seriously, thank you. Like,
you're welcome. Thanks.
Yeah,
we've got a good thing. We've got a good thing going. This corner of Comicsgate, it really is growing. It's like from the people who hang out here often say this is their favorite sort of side of CG or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing to see, the growth in this corner of YouTube, and then as well we're seeing it in on the books as well. So
yeah,
very fun, exciting.
I kind of feel like our channels are kind of like the channels that you find after a while in CG, if that makes sense. So like you might have been brought here from Ethan or Shane or John or whoever, it doesn't matter. But after a while, you kind of go exploring for something a bit different. I kind of think that's where we are, and I really like what our shows are, and what we're doing. So
and we all help each other out. Like there was a guy that I recognized from the chat from ages, just the other day. He said, "Oh, I didn't realize you had a channel," He'd obviously, I think he'd found me through Camel. Like, so he saw me on Camel Nights, and he didn't realize I had my own channel. And then he subbed to my channel. You know, so you can work like that, and you know, can work in whatever way. And I also think that like we really like I think we really put in a lot of effort into our shows, and we're consistent. I think we're probably the most consistent group of people in Comicsgate when it comes to YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, you know, regular shows and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, no, it's working well. It's good.
I did a couple of videos this week, Mike, and I thought they were just amazing. But before we get onto that, since I've got it up on the screen, Rippaverse item #1 campaign.
Holy crap! The last I saw it was the 2.7.
It's insane.
Oh my god!
What can you even say about this? Like I've compared it to Ethan's before, like, and what Ethan did is exceptional. Like, I think he had like 850,000 after 60 days on Rec Planet, 1.2 million over the course of his campaign. Ripper's at like nearly 3 million in over just a week? Is it longer than a week?
Yeah, this is a campaign this large. I've noticed this. It starts to get its own steam. Like, it starts to have a feedback loop.
Yeah,
like a proper snowball, and it's well and truly, I think at this point, reached outside of Ripper's organic fan base. So usually most of the time we are trapped in our own bubbles. You know, we're promoting to our own group. We found that out with the giveaway. Like, it didn't matter how many times we promoted it. It was just like we're speaking to the same people here.
You say that though, dude. You say that, but so many of the people that signed up weren't. I didn't have them. You didn't have them.
I know we
either.
did very well. Yeah, absolutely, we did very well. But I'm just saying that, especially with a campaign, like a lot of the times, you know, you get out to your fan base, you sell to them against something, and then you hope to get on a bigger show and then find more fan base. But usually it's sort of like a little prod outside. You're there for a momentary amount of time. You're on Ethan's, you're on Malin's or whatever, and then you're off, you know, and then people forget about you again. I think this has reached outside of even Ripper's own natural organic fan base into just the wider world. It's like an actual phenomenon now. It reminds me of Brandon Sanderson's
Kickstarter.
It's eventually it becomes like a thing of, oh, I want to support this just to see how big this goes, and I don't even really know who this Ripper guy is. So I think we're getting into the point now where we're going to be seeing people who are just backing it just because this is something interesting and new. And I think a lot of that happened on Brandon Sanderson's as well. It's like, this thing ain't slowing down. Like, this is not a normal trajectory. Anyone who's ever run a crowdfund, this is not normal. This doesn't happen to almost anyone.
Old Dirty Fatty, we'll get to that in a second because I think I disagree with you. I just want to look at Ryan says, at 4 million, he'll match the 200K initial investment to what he'd have had to pay Indiegogo. Another point on that, Mike, like, if Indiegogo weren't so, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is, difficult to work with at the moment, I guess. The fees were less. If he put that on their site, that would have brought in so much more money for them. So I mean, like, how much are they?
Yeah, but they would but they would never adjust their fees. You know, just to like snag one guy. I mean, I know this is massive, and I did a bit of a tongue-in-cheek what if video the other day about what if Marvel and DC got into crowdfunding, and I know this is absolutely monumental for one guy. Yes, absolutely. But you know, in terms of like big business, a couple of $1 million is, you know, they're trying to chase hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't First of all, I don't think he really ever considered really. I mean, he was saying he was going to do it on Indiegogo, but once he realized like what they would be taking from him, he was like, nah. He has his own Steam. He really
Mm,
doesn't need that. So it was obviously a very intelligent choice to just go out on his own.
ballsy too. I mean, like,
Yeah.
chucking 200 grand down. Not many people can do that. Old Dirty Fatty says, it's great to see an independent publisher make good, but I'm afraid it won't mean much for CG sales. I disagree, Bancroft. What about yourself?
Remains to be seen. I see what Old Dirty Fatty's saying. I mean, it's obviously this isn't about us. This is about Ripper. But Ripper is out there singing the praises of Comicsgate. He's not shying away from CG at all. On occasion, she's said he's CG, in the sense of he believes in the same sort of things. But no, we definitely have our work cut out for us converting any of these 32,000 new backers into fans of anything that we're doing. Like they are well and truly Ripper fans. So I
But
mean, we
like
have
we've
to give
seen
him
people
a shout
come
out.
across already. Like we've seen people back other people's books
Oh yeah, no, it'll
from
happen, but
Ripper.
like it's like the absolute lion's share is their Ripper fans, and they see the
Oh
same
yeah,
thing with Ethan as well. And your boy Zach too. The
yeah.
lion's share of their backers are just they're fans of Ethan or your boy. So no, he's doing amazing things for independent comics.
Mm.
Absolutely, like we've seen the anecdotes. I didn't know all this stuff was going on. Now I'm looking into it. It's it's great, but it remains to be seen. I think we have to do a lot of the work of converting
Mm.
um these new backers who could they might, a lot of them are probably just going to be one timers. Like we have to convince them to sort of comics are a cool hobby to have. Good stuff going on over here.
How many actual individual books is he up to? Like has he sold? Well, that's like 39,000,
A lot.
46,000 books.
Yeah,
46,000 books,
it's
Bancroft.
in a
That is
whole nother
crazy.
strata, a whole nother
47.
magnitude, order of magnitude larger than
Dude,
what anything that we're doing.
he's
This will
close to
not
like
be
50,000 books
books. This will
already
not be
sold.
packing books on the kitchen table, that's for sure.
Nah, man. Nah. Dave Brink says, is it okay to say that Isom's design is a bit boring, or would that be racist? Yeah, you can say whatever you want about it.
Why would it be racist? No, lots of people have said that. Look, that's the thing. It's a new IP.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how many people actually backing it on the back of the IP, but I think it was a very clever choice of him to go with what looks like a sort of straight superhero story. I think it's got a kind of a retired superhero bent to it, with other characters. Maybe potentially could be a team thing. It's a universe, so it's like, hey, let's replace Marvel universe or DC universe or whatever it is, right? So I think that was very clever to do. But this is one book. I think this is one thing, and yeah, who knows? We'll see.
It's gonna be really interesting to see what he does like long term, like after issue 1. Is he going to issue 2? Is he doing a different story from a different book? Like, is he? I'd be interested to see
No
what
idea.
it goes.
Yeah. How many books? How many properties will there be in the Ripperverse? How
Yeah,
often
and
will they cross over?
what artists is he going to get on board? Because like I don't think it's unfair to say like this isn't like Roquefort or Ethan, level art. Like the art's good. It's not mind blowing. I'd be interested to see what
Yeah.
he's
There are
got there.
people out there who think wrongheadedly, in my opinion, that, the amount of money a book raises should be in correlation to how good the art is.
It just doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way.
No,
And
it doesn't.
If if you want to hit the top tier, you've got to really be A+ promoter with a big audience, and then you have some good art on it as well. And then Rip has shown, hey, well, look, you guys didn't even know this IP. I didn't even tell you what it was until a day before it launched. So yeah, look, I think it looks. Some of the art looks really good to me. Some of it, I mean, it's not like a lot of people say, like, it's not really my thing. I'm not really into the superhero stuff, but I think it was a really smart decision for him to do this. It's got a very broad appeal to it.
Model V says, IGG has been pulling more bullshit. I'm seeing a larger amount of people saying their campaigns got messed with. Heads need to roll with them doing that while this is going on. Yeah, I mean, Mike and I have talked about it plenty of times. I'm concerned with where it's going. My campaign is shadow banned. My sign-up page is shadow banned at the moment, so you can't find it unless you've got the link. Like, you can't search for it by name to find it. You have to have the link. They're making really weird choices over sex and violence, or perceived sex, I guess. Like, girls in bikini is too sexy for IGG now. Violence is a no-go. And like, I heard someone say, like, they've changed their terms and conditions. It's been like this for 4 or 5 months now. I'm like, sure, I mean, they can change their conditions. It's up to them, but it doesn't mean that we have to be happy with the direction it's going in.
And also, the terms and conditions are vague as hell.
Yeah.
And they're like, what is it? Sporadically enforced.
Yeah. Let me catch up with the chat. I'm really far behind. Mo Biggs. Every time Bancroft looks at Isom, he starts doing his own special brand of pre-press in his mind. What do you think he's talking about there?
Move along.
Move along. Okay. Jaro says, people seem to forget Ripper's been on YouTube since he was 16 years old. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I don't think people are forgetting that. I think that's
Yeah.
like everyone understands. He's put in 15 years of work to get to this position, to be able to do this. And I think it's just like the Ripperverse is a bigger and larger example that we could have ever hoped for of everything that we've been saying for 4 years now. It's just like all of it in one big thing. So it's pretty, like, it's like Comicsgate especially can kind of stand back and look at Ripperverse and saying, yep, told you, we were right. Do it this way. Give the people an alternative, build up your audience, and profit.
This is already happening, Mike. We are seeing people I don't want to say leaving Indiegogo, but choosing different options as well to Indiegogo. I think like that horse is bolted now. People are looking at Kickstarter, Spotify, all the other ones. And I don't think like the keep Comicsgate on Indiegogo thing is going to work anymore. Like that's done now. It's too late. People have already made moves.
Yeah. No, I think it's more and more. Like I don't think many people are going to be jumping ship just yet, but people are definitely looking around at other options. And I don't think it's I think it's going to be like a CG only platform, at least to begin with. I think are much more likely for sort of established people, once they've already crowdfunded on known sites like Indiegogo or Kickstarter or Zoop or wherever it is, will be doing what Rip has done and making their own websites and running their own crowdfunds on them. I think that's the much more likely next step.
Richard says, how hard would it be to make a website that has a sales tracker so we can have a CG platform? Ethan's working on a CG platform. We'll have to see how it goes. I don't know how long it's going to take to get finished or how much it's going to cost for him to do it. I would think a lot. Camel says, we as CG need to see ISOM as a $3 million indie comic ad campaign that gets recognition to the indie industry worldwide.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it's doing. It's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's reaching outside. Like, what Eric Weathers was saying. People are saying, "Have you heard of this Ripper?" Yeah, I did the lettering. Like stuff like that. And Clint said that as well. It's getting out there. It's amazing.
Shant says Eric is having an impact on a lot of campaigns. Yeah, I mean, Gabe is obviously his colorist. He's got a direct connection to the book, but he's got like 100 extra backers since this is launched. I know
Other people are saying they're
day,
noticing an uptick as well. Yeah,
I heard Murph say the other day he's got like 4 or 5 new backers since this Ripper thing. I mean, I think it's lifting everyone up, probably to different extents, but yeah. It's definitely helping. By the way, Old Dirty Fatty, by the way, Bancroft's take is spot on. Marumi says 40K is more than real mainstream numbers.
40. Yeah, for a book like this at this price point, absolutely crushes mainstream numbers, which is a sad state of affairs, but that's the way it is, huh? No, absolutely. Yeah, he's I mean, you cannot ignore this anymore. That's why it's so good. It's too big to ignore.
Rob, if you don't read my pre-read it Rob comment, you're getting timed out on the next Bancroft stream.
I think that's a given. I think that boat has sailed.
It's already happening, isn't it? Lefties were calling ISOM a Tomic book because Ripper is allegedly an Uncle Tom. I don't know. Did you see that
guy who spoke to Tyler? Say he wouldn't denounce this Uncle Tom slur. He's like, oh, that's what they call each other. Oh, who am I to say? It means like an Uncle Tom is like a house N-word, like a black person who plays well with the whites so as to reap the benefits.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
Yeah. It's a slur. It's a racist slur. So they're saying they're essentially saying that Ripper embraces white supremacy to sell to white people.
Wow. Jeez. Antoine says, do you think Ripper has enough tears? Yes. Too many. No. No, I mean,
that's the thing. Like it's his own website. It's his own conventions, The thing about it is whatever works, huh? Like, I wouldn't do it, but
yeah,
Billy Tucci does it.
Oh, Billy Tucci's campaigns are crazy, man. He's got like 30 plus tiers. I'm just like, wow, dude. I'm doing trading cards. I'm doing a set of 9. What do you guys think the cost of 9 trading cards should be? Because Bancroft said like $5, and I'm like,
I said 10.
Really cheap.
Keep reading the chat. There's some great comments.
There was one about you, and I wanted to miss it. Wow, Tomic book is so effing racist. How are they allowed to say that? That's the thing, man. They say stuff, and
you can say anything as long as you're saying it to someone who isn't on the left. Anything.
Simply Green, EVS's autistic attention to detail is amazing, but it's not the be all and end all of art. Yep, that's fair.
True. Yeah. See, this art isn't as detailed as Kenneth's or Ethan's or others, but look, it was pointed as well. It's professional. It's absolutely professional quality. It's a superhero, straightforward book. I mean, I think it was a really clever choice. I would have still liked to have seen someone like Kanan do the interiors because I think he's like a uber talent, but I didn't think he wanted to, so whatever.
I mean, like, I mean, if I was Ripper, I'd be tempted to go to someone like Brett Booth. Who else was I thinking the other day? Like one of the big guys and go, here's some money, draw me a book. but he probably
Well,
doesn't
you got to
even need to do
remember as
that.
well, like just because it's a $3 million campaign and could go up to, I don't know, 10 million, that doesn't necessarily mean the artists are getting like a gazillion dollars. They get their page rate, same as
Yeah.
anyone else. They may have bonuses worked in. That's, you know, I've got no idea, but you know, that's the way it works. It's
Jaro
profit.
with a good comment. Rob Liefeld sold millions of comics, and people actively hate his art. Never forget that. Very true. Justice for Mo. Oh boohoo! Rob is shadow banned. I'm shadow banned in this chat. It's getting
It's got a
absurd.
point.
Sheev McQueen. Noran Rad says they should either approve it or not. Shadow banning their own campaign users is insane to me. Yeah, what happens is they flag certain words, don't they, Bancroft? And those words,
I don't know.
I think that's how
I
it
don't know.
works. I think that's how it works. Like it's
Oh, well, they do it
obviously
with
some.
imagery too. Like, how are they picking up violent imagery?
I don't know. That's a good
So that's what I'm
point.
saying. It's all vague. It's all up to interpretation, and it's like. And why are things getting shadow banned? Why aren't they sending an email saying we've flagged something here? You know, you have 42 hours to 48, whatever it is, 48 hours to rectify this exact thing, or we'll make it so your campaign can't be seen. It's like, I don't know why it has to be the way it is.
Yeah, it's pretty. It is very crazy. You know what's really insane? And this is YouTube. This is not IGG. So it's separate things, right? But you know how like you can't show nudity or that kind of stuff on the comics on YouTube, right? It gets like struck.
Yeah.
There is a show called Naked Attraction that you can watch on YouTube where people decide if they want to date a member of the other sex by looking at their naked body on YouTube. How does that make any sense, Bancroft?
Doesn't. How does it make sense that they have Boldo and the other blowjob machine on Indiegogo?
It doesn't make any sense. People throw the but you agree with the terms of service bullshit around when it suits them. They get changed constantly and there's nowhere else to go. Yeah, I agree, man. Shane, good to see you, man. It says, I'm curious about your shadow ban, Rob. Yeah, I talked to them. They don't know why it's happened, but my campaign won't show up unless you have the actual link. Yeah, Simply Green says, I mean, I kind of look at this as like a Frog 3 launch. All props to Ripper. He did the legwork, but I don't think this would have happened when CG was first starting.
I don't know. I just don't know. Like I don't really want to get into it either. I don't want to start parceling out how much of this success has to do with the groundwork that Comicsgate laid and everything like that. I think you're sort of treading into waters of counting someone's cash at that point. Ripper built his audience over a decade, more than a decade. He chose this time to launch. He could have launched earlier. He could have waited. He obviously, felt like this was the right moment to do it, and he was right. So, my personal opinion is that, like people don't give enough props to Comicsgate in terms of what we've built here and what we've achieved. And, people like to focus on late books and, like our haters like to focus on late books and how it's not as big as we think it is and everything. But Comicsgate does very well for itself as a shunned movement of, naughty people out there on YouTube. We raise millions of dollars and move thousands of books every year. So, and we're growing. So look, we'll see how it all plays out in the end. But this is I'm happy to say this is all on Ripper at the moment, and we'll see how it comes out in the wash. And I'm very happy that he is thankful. He lays out his thanks to Phantom Menace, Comicsgate. Who else? Salty and Razor Fierce and all that sort of stuff.
It is refreshing though. Like sometimes it does happen that someone gets success and they immediately shit on the people that help them get there. So mad props to him for doing that. Ryan says, I've noticed people showing up to lots of CG streams saying they heard about CG from Ripper. Yeah, I mean, I've seen that too. Shane
Thanks,
Davis
Ripper.
just broke $270,000 on Inglorious Rex. If one of the mods can chuck the link into that, congrats, man. That's fucking amazing.
Hey Shane, I did a little spot on Inglorious Rex on a video today, and someone in the chat said, this reminds me. I got to back it before it ends. So I'm doing my part. But they just bought it for the potato magnet, I think.
Nate says, Replicator, do you think IGG joining Kickstarter? I don't know what you mean by that. Has something to do with people abandoning ship.
They didn't join Kickstarter. They joined GoFundMe. And Shane saying it's worse was in relation to the meaning of an Uncle Tom.
Oh, right. Okay. $60 for 9 cards. Wow.
Typical camel.
Cards as stretch goals. So, God, I'm so far behind. $15 for 9 cards. People like free 9.
That's what 10. I said, D. That's what I said. But anyway.
I was thinking like, 15, $20 for 9 cards. But if people think that's too expensive, I'm tempted just to do them all as stretch goals, man. Because $20 wouldn't be a killer as long as the cards are well made. No, they're not done yet.
Very premium.
They're not done yet.
Yeah, amazing art and very premium.
Amazing art, very premium. The art will be incredible. It's by that Alan Goldman guy who did my cover, so the art's going to be top notch. I'll get Shelby to ink it again if he's willing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. Skip says, has Rob gotten a super chat yet? I got here late. We got tons, man. That's crazy. Is there another one there?
You just got a new one.
Yeah, it just popped up. Nate Callis. Hang on, let me get down to it because I can see it. Yeah, you missed an awesome show, Jasper. It was really good.
We still got 13 minutes.
Yeah, we still got 13 minutes. Nate Callis for 10. Skip Edwards was wondering if you got any super chats yet. So here is another one for you. Amazing. It's incredible. It's incredible. You guys are awesome. I did a video, Bancroft, this week. Top 3 moments of CG this year. Did you have any thoughts on it, or did you have a top 3 of your own?
I thought it was a little premature, given that it's July.
But why do you have to gatekeep fun, Bancroft? You say you want positivity, and yet I do something positive, and then you're negative about it. I mean,
when you make a list of top 3, you are tacitly saying everything else that happened is not as good as these 3 things.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. The 3 things that I mentioned
it's like tacit negativity. You could also just say, "Man, I love these things."
No, because you've got to do. That's how you win, Bancroft. You've got to do top 3 so people get excited about it.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, yeah, it was a good list. They were good events. I agreed they were top, good moments, good times had by all. Ryan Johnson says Rob is so close to being happy. Bancroft is gatekeeping joy. Yeah, I'm trying to keep him as it is. This chemistry between Rob and I works so well. He's the grumpy one. And I just sort of facilitate that.
Imagine if I just turned around and was positive all day, every day. No one would want to see that. It wouldn't work. It would not work at all. Inglorious Rex, $270,181. Dude,
I think that's obviously amazing. It
blows my mind, man.
But to me, he's like super close to 3,000 signups. 3,000 backers.
Yeah, that's
Like,
crazy.
that is
79 to go,
that's a
Shane.
rare club.
Get to work, dude. It's like, seriously, you're slacking, you know.
Shane actually promotes his book a lot, like a lot. So I try to remember to do it. It's not always easy. To just keep saying the same thing again and again and again.
Yeah, I find it really hard. Like, you definitely, like, you've got to be in promotion mode unless you're a natural at it. Jasper says Rob really went out on a limb to point out that lukewarm top
He has a
3
point,
list.
Rob. He has a point. I mean,
How
it's
is
like,
that lukewarm? They're
because
all
we all
fire.
because we all know it. We all love those moments. It's like, you know what it is? Remember that time that we did that thing? Remember that party? That was a great.
Remember that hot chick I hooked up with?
Yeah. Remember that? Yeah, that was good, wasn't it? Yeah, that was really good. It was a bit like that, you know. It's like, yeah,
It was lukewarm, guys.
and
Just
plus,
lies.
yeah, a
Not
little bit of
spicy
controversy.
enough.
Why are you gatekeeping Mo Big's comment there?
Where? Oh, that giant one in all caps. Got it. Mo says, Bancroft, Rob has a picture of himself crying while holding up what he's been told are 3 fingers, and he's going to run it as deep into the ground as he can.
Jesus.
Ah, yeah.
It's like, it was very safe. It's a very safe. See, today, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna like do some clickbait here, but I'm gonna be quick with it, and it's gonna be like, the whole point is so that I can actually talk about Phil Diaz's Masquerade, Inglorious Rex, and Replicator 4. See, it's like, okay, I might potentially trick some Kevin Smith fans into watching a video about some CG books, you know? A little bit of edge to it. I don't know.
I just think, like, you know, you say you want positive, I do positive, and you're like, it's not good enough. Why do I even bother? Why shouldn't I just do negative?
No, I think there's a time and a place. And I'm joking aside. I think, like, let's, the top 3 moments of 2022 happens at the end of 2022. You could have said the top 3 moments of the last 3 months or something.
That wouldn't have been, as appealing. What about that other excellent video I did, Bancroft? Where is it? Is it here? I'll find it. The shocking truth about what it's really like to be a creator.
Jasper had the best comment on this.
What did he say?
Oh my god! He said, "This is the 4th time Rob has made this video." Was it Jasper? Or was it
wasn't Jasper.
Who said it? I said it to Camel before you came in, and he was like, "What is it like? This is how you crowdfund in Comicsgate, or this is what it's like in Comicsgate." Like, I didn't even have to say it, but people liked it. It got a good response.
It
so
really did,
I
dude.
can't really knock it.
People were loving it. I was surprised. I'm like, all right. Jasper says Bancroft is out there shivving Kevin Smith while Rob is hosting CG's version of The View.
Yes, exactly. I'm shivving Kevin Smith for CG, and like, I don't like care for what Kevin Smith has done recently, but I at one point I was a fan of Kevin Smith, so I have to swallow that.
Jaro says sometimes.
No, but you should
go.
Is that true underneath? Did you reuse the thumbnail?
Probably.
Rob.
Probably multiple times I've done that, Bancroft.
Rob. I mean, it's minimal effort.
Well, no, it's not. I've got to take another photo.
You don't have to take a photo of yourself for a thumbnail. There's lots of people out there who don't put photos of themselves in their thumbnail.
Mo Biggs, the top 3 letters of the alphabet, number 1 will blow Rob's mind. And this is why we love CG, man. Like the banter
Yeah.
from the chat is just exceptional. Ryan Johnson, Rob, make 20 more of these, same premise and more absurd with each one.
I think you think too hard about it.
Me?
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
I said to you today, I said, Rob, are you putting out a video today? We can do it again. And you're like, nah, I got nothing. So what do you mean you got nothing? Just make a video.
Yeah, but like I need topics, Bancroft. That's the only way out this show works, is because there's topics to talk about. If there's no topics, what am I going to talk about? You think I could just sit here and talk for 2 hours, which we've kind of done today?
No, I'm talking about a video. Just make a video.
Mortal V says Bancroft swallows a lot.
Swallows a lot of what? Tea? Yes, I do. You got some wow.
Pork hunt. For 20 Australian. FYI, I posted a chat further up about Comicsgate. If IGG becoming similar, planning to bail is overdramatic. Marvel and DC had greatest growth and produced their best content in the 80s when every book had the code.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Pork, Mr. Hunt. But it's not about following the rules. If the rules were clear and enforced evenly across the board, I think we could all sort of deal with it. When they started withholding funds, we were all a bit spooked, but like with a guy like Von, and but he sorted it out. You know, it was because of this. Okay. And then they withhold Tugs funds for months. Why? I don't know. Did we find out? I don't think so. And then they start shadow banning people over what? We don't know yet. And a lot of it is, they say it's in error. So with CG Vacation, they were like, you can't promote sex or something, or like sexual content. And they're like, there is no sexual content. Oh, that was in error then. Okay. Well, I've just lost 15, 20 days of my campaign because of that.
Yeah.
You know, that's I don't think that's the same thing as a comic book code. Like I don't think you know, Comicsgate's they're not going to allow us, you know, to be super violent and show boobs on their website, so we need to jump ship. But I just think it just smacks a lot of what we've already run into on other platforms with censorious types who in reality they just don't like us and want to mess with us, but they're kind of using the terms and conditions as like a curtain, a smoke screen to just mess with us. I don't know if that's what it is. I'm not saying that's what it is, but like we don't know. So just alert, but not alarmed, I guess.
I think it's definitely, for me, it's at the point now where I can't only run an Indiegogo. Like there has to be a separate thing that I run at the same time, just because of the fact that I want to use all my violent images on my page because they look sick, they look awesome, but they won't like that, so I can't do that. I can't not have PayPal for people to buy anymore. Like I can't. We can't do that.
The PayPal thing
PayPal's
is really
ridiculous,
restrictive. It's really dumb.
We can't have the option of people not being able to buy it because their credit card company doesn't like Indiegogo from Australia. Like we can't do that stuff anymore. We need to have a separate option for those occurrences. So I mean, that's where I am. I don't know where Bancroft is. I think he's going to.
No, I think I'm planning on running. I'm planning on having a site live, hopefully.
Yeah.
At the same time as the campaign. I don't think it'll be like a crowdfunding site like Brian is planning, but there'll be options there, because I did get a bunch of people ask about PayPal. I'm not anticipating.
How many people didn't ask you about PayPal? That's the thing. Like, how many did you miss out on because they simply didn't ask? How many people did you miss out on because the credit card didn't work the first time and they couldn't be fucked trying it again? That's the concern.
But how do you capture them? Like, that's like, you got to let them know that secondary option is out there.
I would be tempted to put a little like paragraph on the Indiegogo campaign saying that like if you have credit card issues, if you want to use PayPal or are looking at different options, click this link, go here and buy it there. I don't know if that's a good or bad idea. I'm not sure. Pork Hunt for 5. Use restriction as a smarter way to promote your content.
Yeah, I think it's like I don't think it's a massive issue, if it is completely above board. But a lot of these people, like probably what's going to happen with Rob, what happened with Phil, what happened with the Magnificent Bastards guy is, oh, that was in error.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sort of thing. So I don't know what happened with Tug. I mean, he had a big 6-figure campaign, and it was weeks and weeks. They just wouldn't send him his money, and he was going to blast them, but he was like, he's such a big platform now. He didn't want to cause a stampede on Indiegogo or anything and hurt people running their campaigns.
Jasper says, I bought ISIM with my Venmo QR code. It was awesome. First time a site accepted Venmo. Again, same
Google
thing.
Pay,
Google
all sorts
Pay,
of stuff.
payment plans.
The payment plans, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got big tiers.
Nate says, is building your own website an option like Ripper? I'll probably use Shopify, man. I think that's what I'll do.
Absolutely. I think with like campaigns like our size, Rob, mid-tier, like over like 5-figure campaigns but under 100,000, I think so I say under 100,000, the amount of fees that you'll be paying will be $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. You're not going to spend that much money to set up a website. Like setting up a website these days is super easy and cheap and straightforward. And yeah, and you have all these plugins that you can just run with.
Here's a thought, Mike, and I don't know, you probably haven't thought about this, but it would be tempting not to do in demand and just do the in demand part on your actual store, because you don't have to pay that $25 fee plus bank fees plus credit cards plus the percentage that Indiegogo charge.
I don't know if I'm there yet. In demand served me very well.
It does. It does.
I was selling. I don't think I think I did. I don't know how long I was in demand for, but it was over a year.
Yeah.
And I don't think I sold less than $1,000 worth of comics in that whole period of being in demand. I didn't see anything close to that when I took them off and put them on eBay. Now that's not as good as my own site, sure, but Ethan seems to do pretty well on his eBay. I don't know. And I do like there's that thing of if you keep it in demand, it grows, and there's that whole you got so many backers. Like look what Murph has done. He's going to get 2,000 backers, and
is it like
$70,000?
Is that like $65,000 first time creator? Incredible.
Yeah. So I think for me at the moment, the extra site will be like auxiliary. It'll be an extra, but I'm still planning on going Indiegogo.
I think like the probably like the biggest takeaway from it though is like not everyone's jumping ship, not everyone is all that concerned, but people are definitely looking at different options now. It's definitely in the back of people's minds at least.
Well, and also there's just a little sour taste in the mouth that wasn't there earlier. Like we were like, you talk about Indiegogo 2 months ago, really, and everyone's like full of praise. Oh, Indiegogo's been so good, and all that sort of stuff. And now it's like, Indiegogo is a good site. It works well, and there's a sort of that it's a bit tarnished just with this silliness. But I don't know. Hopefully, it's just teething problems.
John says, doesn't IGG lose money if they have to refund all the backers?
Yeah, I think they do. I think they lose I don't know, 30 cents a backer or something. I don't know what it is.
Mike, any final points? Everyone, please do sign up to Painted Death. Link is down in below, as well as Replicator 4. And hit like and subscribe on the video on the stream.
I'm sitting on one sign up away from 850. If there's anything,
dude, that's incredible, man.
Anyone out there who hasn't signed up for Painted Death,
it's amazing.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Do you want to bring it up on the screen?
Yeah, why not?
I
can do that. I really need to print out these 10 other books, show them off physical.
Yeah, that's 850 is incredible, dude. You will hit 1,000 plus by the time you get there.
Yeah, hopefully.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting as well to get this new page colored and show off that as well. I showed off a tiny little snippet of it as a whip, and people really liked it. So I think they're going to really like the whole thing. And yeah, it's like, it's getting crazy. I'm really, looking forward to doing this. But I'm getting big plans for the whole launch process and then the campaign and everything. So
yeah, you've got to tell me what they are so I can decide if I want to do some of them or not. You've got to give something back to me, Bancroft. You've got to give me something.
Why?
Because I give you so many wonderful ideas.
Well, I find ideas floating around your head in the air.
Right. And there's my campaign too. Replicator 4, biggest book yet. It's going to be 48 pages plus, perhaps. We're about 30 pages in. So it's going really well. The art is getting better and better, even as he draws it. Like, each page is getting better than the last one. He's getting really good. Malin was very impressed. He was thinking about trying to poach him from me. I'm like, that's all right. You can do that when I'm finished. No, I didn't say that. But yeah, go sign up to both these. Go back Shane Davis's book. That's crazy. It does blow my mind how there are so many different levels to this. It's cool. I think it's really cool. Thank you, everyone, so much for the super chats. It was absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how much money it was, but it was incredible. Thank you. Anything else, Bancroft? We'll wrap it up.
Yeah, Shiva Queen says, look forward to Rob's next video, the top 3 upcoming moments in comics game.
Yeah, it'll be Bancroft's will be Painted Death, and then number 2.
I'll just say I'm having fun doing these daily videos. It's not an imposition. It's not terribly difficult. I look forward to doing more in the future. If you're not subscribed, please do, and come and hang out in the premieres. Like, some of them are really pumping. Like, I got over 100 in one of them the other day.
Yeah, I had like 50 cool. on mine. I'm like, wow, that was insane.
Getting into it. So yeah, come hang out.
It's cool. And yeah, guys, if you're creators, look into the raid feature on
yes, that as
YouTube.
Well. There's so many people I want to raid, but it won't let me unless you allow them. You've got to set it up, guys, because like, imagine if you're streaming after Bancroft and he sends 150 people to your channel for the first time ever. I want
your
to.
one shot, one opportunity. Never let it go. All right, guys, thank you so much. Again, I'm going to hit the end button here, and have a great one. Catch you all later.